Well, greetings to everyone. It is Wednesday. I'm just stopping on here just to say hello, my friends are doing, and just to uh, introduce my podcast, to reintroduce my podcast. But when I come back, I'll tell you more about the podcast, the reintroducing or relaunching of it. There's a lot that we're going to talk about. So hang in there, my friends. It is Wednesday, actually, and it has a little spin on it. So, when I come back, I will be just telling you a little bit more about the podcast. ORB Ministry presents Let's Talk with the Doc. Grace Without Borders podcast. A thought for you. Ask Pastor. And a whole lot more. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. All right, so greetings to those who are joining me and wherever you're joining from. I'm excited to be here this evening. I am on my own tonight. I'm going to spend a little bit of time to talk to my friends to let you know. Well, number one, it has been made known now, and been going around that after 47 years, or let's say 46 years of pastoral ministry church leadership, that I am about to retire from full time pastoral work after all those many years. My wife and I have been journeying past 5 churches in 3 different countries, if one would say. And I've come to the time where I think it is a good time to pick up something else, to expand on something else, and leave an open door for others to come into pastoral ministry. So I will be retiring soon, and I hope to expand on ORB Ministries. And as a result of that, after 4 years of not posting an episode on my podcast, I decided to restore it. And with a new branding. The old podcast was Grace, but I am inspired a new branding of Caught in the Middle, no exception. Caught in the middle, no exception. And I must say, every person, no matter what the culture, the gender, the ideology, the philosophy, the religious persuasion, political persuasion, you name it, culture, whatever. Everyone experience being caught in the middle of something, making a decision, making choices, struggle between wrong and right. I wish I had that little thought in my hand that C.S. Lewis said. Made a great piece on that. But he says one thought I want to glean from that. Um, if no one know how bad you really are, and I'm paraphrasing here, no one knows how bad he really is until he tries consistently to be good. No one knows how bad he really is until he tries consistently to be good. Because doing wrong is kind of common nature. It's in our DNA. It is who we are by being human, being uh, 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 coming from the Adam race. It makes us uh, sinners, and give us this choice and this battle between wrong and right. And so every now and then we find ourselves caught in the middle, and that's where that podcast is going. Actually, my intent is to use that podcast as a teaching tool. As a teaching tool, I've had so many things that I wanted to bring on the podcast. As a matter of fact, I have been writing a book on the subject for the past 3 years or more, and I have not finished it. But I think later this year I want to finish that book and have it published. Caught in the middle. And if you think that's not interesting, I'm going to take it from the beginning, from Lucifer. I'm going to take it from Lucifer, this glorious, beautiful angel who sang praise to God, and he found himself in his pride, caught in the middle of his pride and worshiping God, and putting and exalting himself. And as a result of that, he was cast out of heaven, caught in the middle. And then he was cast out of heaven and was cast down to earth. We heard the story. Woe be unto the inhabitants of the earth, because Satan is gone down to the sea. We have that in the record of the scriptures. And then he showed up. He showed up right in the Garden of Eden. He showed up in the Garden of Eden, and there was Adam and Eve. There was Adam and Eve, who the first two people on the record in creation were caught in the middle as well. God gave Adam instructions of what to do and what not to do. And here came the devil. Here came the devil telling them, oh, think twice, because you're not gonna be just what God said. You're not gonna die like God said, but your eyes are gonna be open. You're gonna know good or evil. You're gonna be wise as God, etc., etc. So they got caught in the middle, and they fell. They fell because they had option. And then what happened after that? When God came down to have fellowship with them, they couldn't. They couldn't stay where God expected them. And then when he called them, Adam responded eventually. When the voice of God overwhelmed him, he responded, I heard your voice, but I was afraid and I went to hide myself, and because I was naked. And then God asked him, who told you that you were naked? So they were caught in the middle, and all the way down through the generations, through the dispensations, everybody has been caught in the middle one way or the other. We can go from Moses, we can go to Abraham, we could go to Isaac, Jacob, we can go down the line, we could go to Daniel, the Hebrew boys, we could go to Elijah, we could go to Jeremiah, we could go to Paul, we could go to Peter. I mean, we can go all the way. As a matter of fact, we could go to Jesus Christ himself. So caught in the middle covers a broad spectrum of everyone who lives on this earth. And that's why I believe I'm going to have a lot to say on some of these subjects. And I want to teach on deep subjects that going to bring out some things that we've never maybe thought of discussing. As one of the things that I want to talk about the rod of God. I'm going to do a series on the rod of God, and that should be fascinating when we go through that series on episodes on the rod of God. And I'm going to leave that for you to ponder about the rod of God, the rod that Moses, went into Egypt with, the rod that Aaron's rod that budded in the temple. There's just so much we're going to talk about the rod of God, and a number of things. So now, because I am planning on retiring, SOON, now it's been made public, I am going to be teaching. I believe God has blessed me to do something, and I want to use it as a source of development to help to develop others. So with that said, I'm going to restore my podcast for a teaching tool. I'm intended to teach on the big picture Bible study from Genesis all the way down to Revelation. There's a big picture of what what is included in that big picture. I want to do homiletics, teach people the principles, the fundamentals of preaching, how to study, how to understand your Bible, what to look for in the text, how to understand the text, how to present the text, how to structure your sermon and how to present it. I want to do that in homiletics. I might even do Revelation, which I've done numerous times before. Revelation, Daniel, and I'm talking about line by line study, not preaching on a subject, but line by line, verse by verse, line by line on these profound books. It is said that you need to understand Daniel in order to understand Revelation, and vice versa, to understand Revelation and to understand Daniel. So Daniel, the book of Daniel, is unveiled in Revelation to a certain extent, and the book of Revelation has been veiled or closed up in the book of Daniel. So things that God told Daniel to close up, then in Revelation, he told John that we're gonna open up the book. So we're going to teach on some of those subjects, and of course I am going to continue to write books by God's help, to keep my brain thinking. I'm going to keep on writing books and studying to teach. And so you need to link up with me, right? You need to link up with me. You need to subscribe to my podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to take ministry everywhere now that I am retiring and won't be having the responsibility of full-time pastoral work. I'll be able to flex a little bit more and do more for the kingdom of God. All right, so hear me. I want you to check out my podcast, right? Check it out. That is on all of the podcast platforms. If you have Apple or you want Google or you have Spotify, anywhere you podcast are found, you can find this podcast, Caught in the Middle, no exceptions. And I would encourage you, if you want to do that, hey, you can actually scan the QR code right here, and you would get that podcast that I just showed you. Or you could search on Apple Podcasts for Caught in the Middle, no exception, or Orville R. Beckford Ministries. You can search for any one of them. You can even Google it. You can Google that, and then it will be just there for you to pick up on that. All right. So I'm excited about it, and I don't know where the Lord is going to take it, but I am excited. I am excited to journey, and I hope that you would want to journey with me. I hope that you're going to journey with me and learn something. Everyone can learn something from somebody. And I hope that you would want to journey with me so you can learn something as well. All right. So this is what I intend to do. I don't intend to go sleep. I don't intend to go lay down somewhere. I don't intend to take it easy. I just intend to somebody say repurposing my ministry, what the Lord will have me to do. I am going to get excited and keep on doing it. So my friend, I'd love you to subscribe to my podcast. I just reintroduced it with only 17 minutes of telling you what I intend to do. So you can go to that. You can scan the QR code again, and you can listen to this podcast. You can search for it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts are. And if you just missed it, you can scan this QR code and you can find the podcast right there. Find it right there and listen, share with your friends and your family, and invite others to join, because we're going to be on a journey and we're going to have a lot. We're going to have a lot to talk about as I go along. So are you ready to go with me? Are you ready to journey with me on this new chapter in my life, my ministry? I hope you'll be part of it. All right. So that's what it is for tonight. I don't have a long program, but I wanted to introduce this to my friends. Leslie Ann, greetings to you. Good to see you as well, sister. Good to see you. I am just telling everybody that after 46 years of church leadership, pastoral ministry, I am about to change my ministry focus. Maybe that's a good way to say it. My ministry focus from full-time pastoral work to this ministry of developing others or teaching and writing. That's what Andreen Dunn. Andreen, shout out to you. Good to see you. I am here and I'm just inviting my friends to check out my podcast. Check out my podcast, Caught in the Middle. See right there? Can you see that? Can you see that there, right there, Caught in the Middle? Or Villar Beckford Ministries podcast, Caught in the Middle, no exception. And if you're just joining me, I am talking about from the devil, from Lucifer down to Adam, to Moses, to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the way down through Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, the Hebrew boys. I mean, all the way down through the history of the world, biblical history, human history. Then you find that people have been caught in the middle. And I bet you have been caught in the middle of something sometime, because everyone has been caught in the middle. It's not dependent on culture, gender, ethnicity, status, social, economic status. It doesn't matter. Political affiliation, it doesn't matter. Everyone find themselves in the middle. And why? Because we are human, and we in this fallen Adamic nature, we struggle. As a matter of fact, we even talk about Paul himself, who said, and when we talk about Paul, right? When we talk about Paul, the apostle Paul, who was Saul, who had a personal encounter with Christ that revolutionized his life. This man who was caught up into the third heaven and made known the mystery of salvation. He was the only one that God unveiled the true mystery of redemption and reconciliation. Paul was the one who had that experience, and he is the one who said, "I find then a law that is warring against the law of my mind and is bringing me into captivity." Because when he said, to do good is present with me, but how to do it I know not. I struggle to do good. He said, I know that in me dwelleth no good thing, that is in my flesh, because when I would do good, evil is present. And so if Paul the apostle can say that, the man who had the greatest encounter of a transformed life can say, I have found myself caught in the middle over and over. As a matter of fact, prior to that experience, he was caught in the middle religiously, because he was doing all the things by law, and he thought that he was doing things to please God, only to find out that Jesus said, you have been kicking against the pricks, and all the people you've been hurting, you've been doing it to me. And now he realized he was caught in the middle then, and now caught in the middle again, because now that his life has been transformed, there was one side of people who call him a betrayer, and one side that call him a deceiver. We can't trust him, right? The Jews didn't trust him. They called him a betrayer. And the Gentiles didn't trust him because his record was a terrible one. So he found himself caught in the middle again and again and again. And by the way, if you think it was only the prophets and the apostles and Daniel or Adam and Eve and Lucifer were caught in the middle, Jesus Christ himself has been caught in the middle time and again. Time and again. Remember when he prayed to his Father in the Garden of Gethsemane, caught in the middle of restoring his glory, emptying himself of his glory to come to earth to die for you and me, and found himself caught in the middle of carrying the sins of the world, to die for the sins of the world, or to take on back his glory. And he went to the Garden of Gethsemane. He prayed, Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Was in the middle, but he said, nevertheless, not as I will, but thine be done. Caught in the middle. Caught in the middle. There are times he had to run for his life, right? We know the stories of Jesus. So every one of us, and if you would be honest and you would say, I have found myself caught in the middle. Sometimes in our relationships, caught in the middle between our wives and our children, our husbands and our children, our brothers and our family, immediate family, caught in the middle of our wives and our mother-in-law, caught in the middle of our children and different family members and stuff like that, caught in the middle of our siblings, everyone has found himself or herself caught in the middle at one point or the other. Too many times to mention. So if you're just joining, I am relaunching my podcast, and this time it is going to be called Caught in the Middle, No Exception. Caught in the Middle, No Exceptions. Right? You are not exempt or except. There's no exception to you, none to me, and none to anybody. Have you ever been caught in the middle? And what was it that you found yourself? My God, I had to do this. All right, you can scan this QR code to get this podcast right here, or you can Google ORB Ministries, or you can Google Caught in the Middle, No Exceptions podcast, and you will find it as well. You'll find it right there available for you to download the episodes. And for the podcast, I encourage you to subscribe to the podcast. Hit the subscribe button, because what that does, it doesn't mean you have to pay for it. But what it does, whenever I post a new episode, you will have it come directly to you. You'll be notified that I have posted a new episode. As I said earlier, I'm going to be teaching on some major subjects. I'm going to be teaching on the big picture Bible study. But you won't know unless you are connected with me. Follow on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay connected. When I do this, I'm going to be doing that on a Zoom setting, so we can actually have an interaction. These teachings are going to be in a Zoom setting where we can have actual interaction. People can have questions asked. People can see slides and have discussions. I'm going to teach homiletics. The fundamental principles of preaching. How do I study my Bible? How do I do my research? What do I look for in the text? How do I understand the text? How do I lay it out? What the telos in the text, what the author intend for me to know in the text? How do I understand the historical, the literal application of the text, and how it is applicable to my general life? Because every scripture only have one literal meaning, but can be applied in various ways. So how do we understand what the author intend for us to know? I will be teaching that in homiletics, and I hope that all my friends who are preachers and teachers, or aspiring preachers and teachers, or just want to know, would join me in studying homiletics. I, at some point, will be teaching on Revelation as well. I've done that numerous times. Long-term teaching that takes many months to cover Revelation one time per week, but I intend to use the time that God has given me, and the skills and the blessings and the knowledge and the wisdom that He has afforded me, to use this time now to deposit into those who have an interest and want to learn more, so I can pour into you, that you can be even a greater blessing where you are. All right. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you will share this with your friends as well. Everybody can share. One of the things that we don't do from a Christian perspective, we're not enthusiastic about sharing. But sharing is inviting others and bringing others into the circle. All right. So I look forward to hearing from you. You can email me if you have questions at orbministries@gmail.com. Email me, orbministries@gmail.com. If you have questions, you want to link up with me, you want to subscribe to my ministry, you want to support the ministry, you want to journey with me, you want to stay connected, hey, I'd be more than happy to have you. All right? I'd be more than happy to have you. Let's pick up this new baton, and run on another leg. We're going to run another leg together. And this is going to be helping to develop others. Yes, sis. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, after 46 years of church leadership, pastoral ministry, I have decided that it's a good time for me to pass the baton on to somebody else, and then see where the Lord leads me in enabling me to develop others into ministry. And if you want to be part of that journey, then let me know. I'd be more than happy to have you. I'll be more than happy to pour into anybody who seek and who wants it, as much as the Lord will allow me. So, may God bless you. I'm not going to be here for long tonight. I just wanted to do this little presentation to let my friends know this is where we're going. My podcast is available. And before this week is out, maybe tomorrow I'll have another episode put up because I'm going to be busy coming next week and traveling to South Carolina for a funeral. There'll be a lot happening. So maybe tomorrow I'll put up another podcast before I go. So we'll have something. So subscribe to the podcast, scan the QR code, and stay connected. I look forward to seeing you again soon. All right, my friends, that's just it for now. May God bless you and stay connected. We are just getting started. I will see you again soon. Share with your friends and let's journey together. Peace be yours. We're going to learn and we're going to grow. Have a good evening. Well, thank you for checking in on ORB Ministries. I trust that you will share with your friends, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and stay tuned because you never know what's next or who will join the conversation.